Here we are then back with some more My Team content on the channel, and we are here for round 5 for the Canadian Grand Prix. If you guys missed round 4 at Azerbaijan, then go check the episode out, guys. I'll leave it linked up in the top right. And also because there was a very surprise race winner in that episode. Here today though at Canada, we have some rain possibly in the air for qualifying and the race. We'll see how that kind of works out in terms of the forecast. We also have some upgrades on the car. We did have one failure on the turbo. Besides that, 3 upgrades on once again. But having said that, no change to the actual performance. So we are still in the lower half of the midfield battling with Alfa Romeo, and hopefully we can try and close the gap to Alpine and AlphaTauri, and we've got a couple more upgrades on the way to try and combat that and close the gap. But with that said, we move to practice and get the weekend underway. And Canada, one of those tracks that has changed quite a fair bit in this year's game. All the curves are completely different, and the track feels like it's been changed a little bit in terms of how wide and narrow it is in certain areas. And after practice, we had a pretty decent session. The car working very well around here. I think the best the car has felt all season, and we are looking to bounce back after an extremely disappointing race in Baku. You know, you guys, if you would have seen the race, you'd know we just had no pace. I don't know what happened, but there was just nothing there, you know, with the car pace wise. On the hard tyre, we just tried stuff, it didn't really work out. And I'm looking to try and respond this weekend. And you can see in the background, we've had quite a few big discounts applied to different parts of the car. So we'll definitely look at that at the end of this episode and, you know, future episodes to come. That aside though, we do gain a little bit of acclaim all round. We're slowly catching up to Lundgaard. We're now on 8% in terms of the acclaim multiplier. Lundgaard is on 12% right now, and that means as a team we're on 20. Hopefully we can try and push that into the mid-20s heading into the second half of the season. But we can now move into qualifying here at the Circuit de Villeneuve, and straight away the final chicane for me feels a lot tighter this year. I think it's a lot harder to carry the speed you could in last year's game. Across the line we go, and at the end of our first time lap we go P2 behind Verstappen ahead of Lundgaard, and eventually once everyone's set their laps we drop down to 15th place. Now I went for another lap, 2.5 tenths up here, but I just ran a bit wide and cut the left-hander, and unfortunately we had to abandon this lap. Now what I did was I actually just cooled the engine down. I took it very slow on the back straight, and I just went straight again for another push on the exact same set of tyres. And this is going to be a full lap, so here we go, down towards turn 1. Make sure you try and get the inside curb, which I did a terrible job of avoiding. And you know, we just messed up the first 2 corners and we're a tenth and a half down, so not the best start for the lap. Heading to 3 and 4, much nicer over the curbs, nice and aggressive, just about not hitting the wall on the right, and then braking down to 4th gear for this left-hander. Important to take a lot of inside curb to open up the right of turn 5. Carry the speed, DRS wide open along the back straight, and we're now up on our delta. Right left chicane, the place where we messed up last time around. This time we do a much better job and carrying that speed and getting a nice clean exit as we now race down towards the hairpin. You want to try and brake at the 100, brake maybe even just after that, down to 2nd gear, try and get the nose in late for a late apex, and that way you're getting a better exit. And you can see now 2 tenths up as we open DRS on the back straight, and now it's all about the final chicane. This can make or break your lap. We're 15th as it stands right now. We need this lap, so about 75 meters, 5th gear, tip the car in, aggressive over those curbs, but not too aggressive on the second part of the chicane because the inside has a sausage curb which is absolutely deadly. And across the line we improve by near 0.3 of a second, and we do just enough to get through in P16. Unfortunately Christian Lundgaard is out in P18, so yeah, not both cars through, but for us a return to form, and we are back in Q2 after getting eliminated in Q1 in Baku after a messy qualifying. We are back in business, and there's more time in that. You know, you guys saw from the abandoned lap we was 2 tenths up, so there's definitely a bit more lap time in it. The only issue now is for this first run in Q2 I had to use the used set of tyres because I don't have many softs available, and I took a huge corner cut through the turn 3-4 chicane. So this lap is going to be in the bin already, and normally I would have finished it to get a delta reference, but I don't want to use my engine up anymore because in the bottom right you can see we have orange wear. But now I'm going to let you enjoy my best qualifying lap of this game so far. And there we go, cross the line we go, and it's 12th place at the time of crossing the start finish. But what will it be at the end of qualifying? And it's going to be P12. So we stay there and nobody knocks us down and nobody improved. And we finish Q2 on the 6th row. And we will start tomorrow's race from P12. But it's going to be P11 actually, because Carlos Sainz has a 5-second grid penalty. So very, very good qualifying. A fantastic response to the Azerbaijan race, and yeah, really relieved to kind of respond with the pace, and the car feels fantastic around here, so I'm very excited about the race, and I think we've got a lot of potential in terms of what we can do. So yeah, overall very happy. In terms of the rivalry breakdown, I don't usually show this in qualifying, I'll save it for after the race, but because that qualifying was so good, we actually gained quite a decent amount of driver acclaim, and as a consequence of that, we're actually going to level up the team from level 7 to level number 8. So very good qualifying and exactly what we needed after Baku. So that's it for Saturday. We're now going to move into the race here on Sunday for the Canadian Grand Prix.
Bonjour! It's time once again to go racing here in Montreal, the second largest French-speaking city in the world, and home since 1978 to the Canadian Grand Prix. If you want flat-out racing, you've come to the right place this weekend, as it's full throttle for 59% of this 2.7-mile circuit, peaking at around 210 miles per hour going into the final chicane. But that speed requires discipline, and there are more than a few close walls here just waiting to punish drivers with a heavy right foot. Anthony Davidson joins me once again in the commentary box, and it's fantastic to have you with us here today, but I'm curious, as a man with experience out on the track, how do you stop those pre-race nerves from becoming overwhelming when you're lining up on the grid?
Well, from the moment qualifying's over, you start to feel the adrenaline in your body build up and the buzz in your stomach as you anticipate the rundown into turn 1. It's all a bit like going into battle, and the unknown situation makes you nervous. Those pre-race nerves are a good thing. The day you don't have them means that you don't care anymore. And of course, you have to make sure that all the procedures are second nature to you, so that they're not taking up too much of your capacity.
With the race minutes away from starting, here's what today's grid rundown looks like. Lewis Hamilton lines up on pole position, with Daniel Ricciardo slotting in alongside. Considering the rest of the grid, we have Norris, Verstappen, Sergio Perez and Leclerc, Gasly, Vettel, Fernando Alonso and Lance Stroll, Martinez, Sainz, Esteban Ocon and Raikkonen, Tsunoda, Bottas, Antonio Giovinazzi and Christian Lundgaard, Russell, Mick Schumacher, Latifi and Nikita Mazepin. And with lights out just moments away, it's time to go down to the track.
Well, here we are then for the Canadian Grand Prix. I am very excited about this race because the car feels great and there's a lot of reasons to feel optimistic and hopefully, you know, return to form, dare I say, score some points. So we start from P11 and we get the free tyre choice, which is huge for us in terms of strategy. Now, what I'm looking at here is a medium, soft. We're going to save the soft tyre for the end. That's going to be a little ace up our sleeve. And we're going to run 2 sets of mediums in the first part of the race. Make sure we have nice, long, durable tyres. In regards to fuel loads, I've gone 0.1 under. We're going to go just slightly under on the fuel. I feel like we're going to be okay with that. We can manage that if necessary. And no rain expected. Also, we've got the best fans in the house, the birds outside, cheering me on today. So it's going to be a good day. I'm feeling positive and optimistic. So let's get into the action and let's deliver a good result. Right then, let's see what happens. 5 lights for the Canadian Grand Prix. Let's give everything we got. Race start mediums. How's this going to go? We get the jump on Stroll. Ocon's coming through on the inside. Got to be careful. Into turn 1. Going to try and fight back around the outside, but what a start from Esteban Ocon in the Alpine.
Okay, we're monitoring somewhere on the ICE. Be aware that we will start to see a loss of power.
Oh my god, I just got absolutely lunged there by Lance Stroll. We might get an opportunity here though. Ocon and Leclerc side by side. Just trying to see if I can find a bit of space. So far so good though. Car actually feels pretty decent. Here comes Stroll to the outside. I'm not going to let him go through there. Not today anyway. Oh my god, this Ocon Leclerc battle is really hurting us. Almost lost my front wing there. Down towards the hairpin though. Stroll's going to go up the inside. I'm just going to go the long way around. I don't want to get involved. Yellow flag. Okay, something's happened maybe, I'm not sure, but look at this. We've got the run. We know the Ferrari isn't the best on the straight, so we're going to try and get Leclerc here. We're going to get a tow from the cars in front. Can we get Leclerc? Yes, we can. Into the final chicane. Vettel and Ocon going at it. We are giving everything here. We're fighting hard on these mediums. Everyone else is on softs. We're getting the old elbows out. Vettel and Ocon still going at it here. Into turn one. Bit of contact actually as Seb runs a bit wide. But I think he's just going to get in front. I'm struggling to find traction on these mediums right now. So Sebastian Vettel takes the initiative and gets ahead of Ocon as we brush the wall. Oh my god, we are really on the limit here. I'm trying to fight on mediums. I'm the only person on these tyres right now. At least I can see. But, okay, look at that. They're banding behind. We've got a 1.5 second gap. That is massive for us. Worth noting as well on the bottom right, you can see the orange indicator. That's for engine wear. That's because my ICE is on 67%, which is pretty worn out. So, yeah, we're going to be taking a bit of a risk in this race. But we should be okay.
Okay, clear.
Well, we got yellow again. I think nothing happened though. I think it's just because cars are going slowly. What a crazy first 2 laps though. But crucially, we're P10 and in the points, and that's all that matters. And we are also within DRS range of Ocon, which is really, really important as well. I'm just going to try and close the gap slightly to get back in. Back end feels very, very loose in the car right now. I don't have much confidence, but the pace is decent. And we're still hanging in there. We're hanging on to that DRS, which is so, so important for us. And we're actually pulling away from Stroll and Bottas behind. So this is going beautifully right now. I just got to hold on a couple more laps. And then once the softs start to lose their edge, it will start to swing our way. So we're almost there. We've survived the worst bit, which is all that matters. Just brushed the wall there. Meanwhile, we've had a bit of a battle between Alonso and I believe Pierre Gasly up ahead. So now this is becoming a 5-car train rather than a 3-car train. Oh, we got a yellow. That is a definite yellow behind. Someone's had an issue. That's not a dodgy low-speed hairpin yellow. That's a proper yellow. Someone's slowing down. And it looks like it's one of the Alphas.
Okay, watch your pace.
Oh my god.
We've been informed that the safety car is out. There appears to have been an issue with multiple stopped vehicles on the track.
Oh boy.
Some information on Giovinazzi. They're retiring from the race. Right, come in at the end of this lap.
Well, I mean, we're going to pit. We're going to take it. Why not? May as well take it. I think we should still be able to pull off the strategy. It shouldn't change things for us. We should still be able to get the mediums to where we need them to go. If not, we'll just wing it on the fly. But this is a free pit stop and I'm taking it. Here we go. Oh, 1.9.
Release.
Oh, just behind Perez. What a stop though from the team. That is insane.
Up to speed now. Let's get some heat into those tyres.
And now we're all on the same tyres, which is fair for me. And we've jumped Sebastian Vettel as well in the pit stops, which is great. But what a stop, by the way. That was insane. 1.9. The team absolutely clutched up. But there's been a massive pile up there. Lundgaard was out. Schumacher was out. Giovinazzi was out. We're down to 17 cars out of 22. So, yeah, there's a big old pile up there. So we'll get obviously some replays up right now. It's a long way to go, but I think it's doable. We need to stretch these tyres to about lap 25, maybe 24. I think 25 would be the ideal lap to pit, so that's going to be about 17 laps on these. So it will be tough. I think the wear will be a bit tricky, but this safety car might actually force some of the AI guys onto a different strategy. We'll see what happens. Obviously, I'm expecting them to go mediums now and then mediums again later. So if we can just get this stint to lap 25, when we're on the softs, which are, by the way, there's a fresh set of softs we've got saved up, they're going to be big for us in this final part of the race. So don't go anywhere, folks. This race is hotting up. Okay, safety car in this lap. We've just about got enough tyre temp. Let's close up to the pack now and get ready for this restart. It's going to be important, just at the race start, to be aggressive and get the old elbows out, try and fight for our pace and, you know, hold our own against the AI.
Green flag. Green flag. We're racing again.
Right, let's do this. Let's see if we can have a successful restart. I'm not expecting any overtakes right now, but it's all about just staying in the race. If I can just stay with the pack until we pit, that would be ideal for me, to be honest. And if I can gain 1 or 2 places along the way, that would be a bonus. There's my first warning for track limits. Let's try not to get any more. Try and keep it clean from this point on. Oh, we've got some battling up ahead. Verstappen and Ricciardo, I believe, throwing down. Here comes Sebastian Vettel, the AI using all their battery. I'm just trying to not use all of mine straight away on this first restart lap. As we almost run into Perez there. Got to be careful. Just going to squeeze Seb off. Force him off onto the curb a little bit. And just kind of ruin his traction. He's got Bottas trying to pass him now. This is pretty chaotic, I'm not going to lie. Side by side, we've got a car into the pit lane. I'm being very, very safe into this final chicane. And there we go. We've timed that beautifully. Look at the drive we've got. Can we get all 3 of them? Gazzy's out of VRS. Here we go. Up the inside of turn 1. Yes, come on. Look at that. Up into 2nd place. The leaders have actually pit. Wait a minute. Did they not pit the safety car? Oh my god, did they not pit the safety car? Wait, we're P2. Okay, let's just push right now. 1.1 gap to Perez. I have no idea what's happening in this race now. This race has gone absolutely bananas. This is already the race of the season. Right, let's just push now. Let's just give it everything we got and try and stretch the pack out behind us. I don't know what the hell has happened, but we are 2nd right now in the Canadian Grand Prix with a set of soft tyres saved up for later. So that sounds very tasty. DRS now enabled. Perez half a second behind. I think I know what's going to happen here. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to be smart. I know my place. So we'll let Perez pass. I'm going to try and follow him and see if he can drag us away from the midfield. Worth noting, Hamilton and I believe, I want to say Lando Norris, who pit a couple laps ago, they're now catching up to all that slower traffic who have already done their stop. So they're going to have to overtake the entire grid. So they're going to get stuck in a big traffic block here. Meanwhile, here comes Perez. I'm going to show him the long way around here. Or not. He doesn't want to go for it. Fair enough. That was a very, very, very cautious approach from Sergio Perez there. I even let off the gas early, but he didn't even commit, and now he's got Gazzy for company, so that's a waste of time. Let's just push on. You can hit the bonking behind. Those two are banging wheels. And Gazzy's got ahead, I think. I love it. This is well and truly the Tom 97 train right now. The entire grid is behind me. I just don't have the pace to pull away, man. Everyone behind is more or less faster, so we are dragging everyone along for the ride right now. Oh, that's not good. Oh, that's not good either. That's going to hurt. Luckily, Gazzy's not super close. Seems like he's lacking a bit of straight line speed. He only really catches me at the end of the straight, but then it's too late. So, yeah, we'll see how it goes. Ideally, I wanted Perez to pass me and I could, you know, follow him. I don't want to let Gazzy by because he's one of our rivals in terms of the Constructors' Championship. You know, AlphaTauri, one of the teams we're aiming to try and beat, so I don't really want to let him go. So we'll see how it goes. But I am out of VRS now, so it's going to be a tricky one, I'm not even going to lie. I think I might just let him go and we'll just try and follow him, to be honest. Come on, Pierre, just take the move. I'll try and follow your lead, son. Alright, let's go. Let's dance. Let's have a bit of fun. This is much better for me. This is working out beautifully. Gazzy's doing a good job of pulling everyone along. I'm struggling for tyres a little bit though, but besides that, everything's going well and we're saving ERS. I'm not using any. I'm just relying purely on DRS to help us out. Pierre's starting to push. I can tell he's upped his engine mode. Is he going to pit soon? I think he might. It's usually a sign. Let's try and stick with him. ERS now up to 50%. Looking pretty decent right now. Gazzy's really pushing. His delta just keeps shooting up on the straights. Look how it just goes up. I'm going to have to use a bit of engine mode here to respond. But I think he's going to be pitting soon. Very, very soon. It shows so much when the AI use engine mode. And there we go. Gazzy pits. So this is where we're going to have to trade off. So a lot of cars are going to pit now. They're going to undercut us. We have to go long by at least another 4 laps. So I've got to try and find some pace from somewhere. And try and make this work so we can go into the softs later. That's a bit of a downside of the early safety car. That's why I've got the ERS saved up to try and help me out a little bit. Into the lead we go. Verstappen's in the pits. Bottas goes in as well. Perez stays out behind us for one more lap. Just trying to keep this pace up really. Doing a good job so far. Perez should pit this lap. We're going to continue on. A couple more laps to go. The pace is actually okay. It's not too bad. I'm managing to find some pace from these tyres. We're going to lose quite a few places though, so we're going to have to be aggressive on those softs to try and fight back. Here comes Verstappen. He's going to get me straight away here. He's got so much more pace. Unfortunately, he's going to get the DRS though, which is not ideal, but anyway, Verstappen goes through. I'll try and get a slight toe. Just got to try and make sure I get a nice exit through here. Just really struggling now for grip. One more lap. Get to lap 25 and then we can relax. I'll get a slight toe here though, which is going to help. Finally, we've done it. We've made it. I can get off these tyres. It's been so painful. I'm going to drain the rest of my battery into the pit lane here. I think we're going to rejoin at the back of the train, to be honest. I'm not expecting any miracles, but let's see what happens. Easy does it. Into the pits. This pit exit is going to be key. We need to nail it. Like, literally, we have to be so aggressive on the pit exit because we could get 1, 2 or 3 cars back if we send it. So here we go. This needs to be a quick stop. Very quick. Yes. 2.1, that's good, but I think it's not enough. I just think we're too far back. Yeah, we're too far back. We're going to be at the back of the train.
Look after these tyres now. We want to finish the race on this compound.
So the bad news, we're behind everyone. The good news, we're in the points. We're P9. So, let's push. Nice soft tyres. Oh my god, I've got so much grip. There was just so much turning grip there, I just completely cut the corner. Right, let's push. Let's try and get some more points out of this race because there's potential for more here today. So we've done the hard work. We've now put ourselves on the back of these guys. I mean, if I could finish P6 of that, would be insane. Feels like Hamilton's on pretty second-hand mediums. I could be wrong though. So DRS on Sebastian Vettel, let's try and get him first and pick these off one by one. It's going to be important that we are efficient with these overtakes to try and save some tyre performance. I would have liked to have dive bombed Seb there, but I think I'm a bit too far back. We'll definitely set up the cutback though, nice little drift there to get the car rotated. Can we get Sebastian Vettel here? It's going to mean draining my entire battery. I don't even know if we've got enough juice for this. Oh, what a move. Yes. That's what I'm talking about. Lovely stuff. Right, that's one down. Lord Percival is next. If I can nail this, which I do, can I lunge Leclerc? I don't really have a lot of ERS to play with here. But we're going to go for it. And we get it done. Up the inside. Nice send. Clear move, no contact. And now we'll get DRS on Lewis, so we can use that to not use any more ERS. Running on 6% and literally running on fumes. But we are fighting for P6 here today. This would be insane if we can deliver this result and bring this one home. Oh my god, that's a big snap through there. 6 laps to go. Personal best again, not quite. I'm not going to pass Lewis because we're catching Alonso. At the minute I'm forcing Lewis to push and use whatever engine mode he has left. And also I'm using it as a chance to save just a little bit of ERS so that we can...
5 laps of fuel remaining.
Yeah, so we can actually overtake him quite comfortably. So yeah, I'm just literally just setting things up now because I want to try and get Lewis with a slingshot to catch Alonso basically. That's the plan here. Right, here we go. Let's get Hamilton. I've got a bit more ERS to go for this overtake. Feels like Lewis has cranked his own engine up. But we're going to commit to this and try and get this one done. There we go, we're through. Use the rest of the energy to try and slingshot onto Alonso. Let's see if we can close him down and get within a second. Oof, brushing the wall of champions there. Just trying to cut this gap down to Alonso. Bottas is battling with Perez, it looks like, and other cars ahead of him, so we're all going to close back up again. I'm starting to lose my tyres now as well. Yes, we've done it. We've managed to get within a second. This is a podium battle, by the way, which is insane. This is a battle for P2, actually, I think. Or am I wrong saying that? Perez, Alonso. Yeah, it's a battle for P2, this is. So let's see how this pans out. Literally haven't got anything left on the ERS. Please hold on to DRS. Okay, we've just held on there. We've dropped Hamilton out of range, which is good as well. Only thing is I'm starting to run out of tyres now. So things are kind of just levelling out. in terms of outright performance. Let's see what happens in the last lap of the race. Bottas, Perez, Gasly all fighting away. I'm struggling to hang on. I didn't have DRS, surprisingly. I thought I did enough to hold on, but I didn't. This last lap's going to be hell. I'm trying to hang on and not get a warning for track limits. But I'm going to need the AI to, I think, trip over themselves to make a mistake for me to really pick up the pieces here. I just don't have the ERS to fight.
There's only 1 lap of fuel remaining.
Verstappen's going to win it. Who's going to finish second, though? Who's going to finish on the podium? I'm pushing so hard, but I just don't have the grip anymore, man. The rear tyres have had enough. Let's see if I can nail this hairpin. Trying. Come on, ERS. Anything you've got now, please? Nah, we've got nothing, man. Look at Alonso, how he's pulled away from us. Verstappen wins. It's going to be probably P6 for us unless something happens in the dying embers. Through the final chicane. Just don't get a penalty now, please. There we go. Nice and safe through there, and I'll take that. P6. It's a massive result, and it's some huge points.
All right, race over. Take care of the car on the way in.
That's it then for another magnificent Canadian Grand Prix, and they've hung on to take a sublime victory here today. Tell me, Ant, how do you think they were able to deliver such an incredible result today?
Well, the safety car completely changed the race, didn't it? It's hard to say exactly what would have happened without it, but there's no question that they came out of that situation in a good position.
Here come today's winners. The team at Red Bull have done a phenomenal job recently. It's clear to see that they've put in the work, and they should be proud of the victory they secured here.
There we have it then. The results are in. Max Verstappen picks up his first win of the season. Valtteri Bottas from P16 to P2 in the race. What a recovery drive from Valtteri with a fastest lap as well. Gasly P3 ahead of Perez in P4. Fernando Alonso 5th ahead of us. We finish in 6th place. Absolutely insane. Lewis Hamilton, the man who was looking untouchable in the first 4-5 rounds, only gets P7 today. Leclerc 8th, Sebastian Vettel P9, and Lando Norris running out the top 10. Missing out on the points is Tsunoda, Ocon, Sainz, Ricciardo, Raikkonen, Latifi, Mazepin, Stroll, Giovinazzi, Russell, Schumacher and Lundgaard. 5 cars out of the race, obviously all involved in that big pile up, so we'll get of course some other angles of that. But first of all, standings wise, we move back up into the top 10 with that result. Up front, Hamilton still is pretty comfortable, 26 points over his teammate. Perez though hot on Bottas's heels. Verstappen with that win gets himself back in the mix as well, and things just kind of tighten up a little bit in the championship. And in terms of the constructors, we remain in 8th place, but now 12 points to our name and pulling away from the bottom 3. So yeah, there we go then. That is it for the race at Canada. We're now going to move into upgrades.
You were cutting your way through the field during the race.
To be fair, I think we had a pretty good one, and it really helps. The car has been very good all weekend, and that's great.
It's safe to say you're smashing everyone's expectations, isn't it?
Yeah, but you know, it's all about being a team, working hard. We've been putting in work. We didn't like what happened in the last race, so we wanted to show that wasn't us and we can do better, and the team's putting in a lot of work.
Things were close between you and your rival, but it looks like you're coming up top, doesn't it?
Well, I mean, listen, I think the best of both drivers is shown in rivalries.
You left a lot of paint on the walls today. Were you struggling for grip, or did you just misjudge some corners?
I mean, we had our moments, but, you know, in general, that happens here.
Appreciate your time.
Well, after the race, we get a couple more points over Tsunoda in terms of advantage in the rivalry, and we retake the lead, and we're now 1 point ahead of the Japanese young driver. We then look at the acclaim, and after that one, we actually got to level 5. We increase our percentage total to 10% bonus, so leveling up even faster here. and halfway to level 9 as well as the team, which is great. So happy days. Bit of a shame Lundgaard's had a bit of a rough run, 2 back-to-back DNFs, not ideal for Christian, but we once again hit our sponsor goal and do the interviews, and no damage deductions for us, but there are 50,000 on Lundgaard's end, which is a bit of a shame. Having said that, we take our total over $2 million and we can move on to the upgrades. Well, first and foremost, we have a personnel department event, so let's check it out.
The personnel department has requested your input on this one.
Media training, we should consider sending Lundgaard onto some media training. We've had some preliminary conversations with Martin Steele, who's well known for having worked on this with some very high profile celebrities, and he has some ability coming up soon. What do you think? Media training, we should consider selling Lundgaard on some media... Fucking hell. We should consider sending Lundgaard on some media training. We've had some preliminary discussions with Martin Steele, who's well known for having worked on this with some very high profile celebrities, and he has some availability coming up. What do you think? I think so. Definitely going to go for that. 1,000 acclaim. We will never say no to that much.
Thanks for stepping in and helping handle that.
Now with that done, we can move into activities, and we've got quite a big gap till the next race, 10 days, so we've got time to get some work done. And looking at the options, let's have a quick browse. I feel like we can definitely do a funded team event to improve team morale. After that, we'll do some weight training for Christian Lundgaard, and then the remaining 4 days will be, I think, yeah, we'll go for the F1 Esports event to get a bit more acclaim going. So that's that done. So we've got activities lined up. Now let's go to the upgrades. 1,334 points to spend, and it looks like in terms of the aero, we can't do anything until we get the next level of fabrication. On the chassis though, we can do some work. So before we go here, let me see which one is the better option. So we've got this one or this one. I think this one's actually slightly more effective, so we'll go for the monocoque structure. We'll get that on the car straight away, and that will do it for now on the upgrades front. Now I could do some facility work, but I'm going to hold off another race and then we'll do some in the next episode. Never mind, I've got enough cash, so we're going to go ahead, and now that we've got through all the activities and everything has been updated, we can now improve things. So we're going to go to the aero fabrication level 1. We're going to get that on the car, and it means that we can get more stuff onto the car. So glad that's on. We can expect that to arrive soon. But the next race is going to be France, Paul Ricard. Hopefully you guys are excited for that. If you are, leave a like, subscribe for more if you enjoyed today's episode, and as always guys, check out the 2 videos on screen if you haven't seen them already. But that's it from me here today, and I'll see you guys next time. Until then, take care, and it's goodbye from me.